And I gave you a warning a year ago. If something in the future happens, y'all are, I mean, this is dangerous water y'all are crawling in. And don't think I have all your info either. I have everything, but y'all have connections and shit. Good luck. And don't think I have all your info. Now we're talking about the person in the past. Everybody knows who we're talking about, an unlicensed doctor at one time or whatever, right?
Not whatever, actually. He's unregistered in the state of California.
Yet, on your panel that you have live, you have a unlicensed woman on there. Oh yeah, talking about you, Jade. I know who you are now, bud. I know who you are. You're trash too, girl.
The thing that I'm struggling to understand is where I even come into this. But in October of 2023, Chris already knew who I was. In fact, we became friends. And the reason that we became friends was because my other friend, Mr. Mensa, was actually trying to call out Dr. Zohar Weizman for his lies and all the problems that he'd caused in a YouTube community. What had he done to me? Stolen a private picture and distributed it to other people and then told them that I was transgender, which I am. But of course, he did all of that against my will and then lied about it, later getting caught. Here's the self-admitted narcissist Dr. Zohar Weizman on live stream.
Picture.
You know what he's talking about.
The picture that was shown of Jade before her transition.
Why did Jade?
Yes or no?
She proved it in her video.
So are you responsible?
Yes or no? Sí como no?
Proved what? What did you prove? Tell us what
Oh my God, just cut him off. Just cut him off. Twisted Chris was not a fan of Console Fanboy because of some YouTube beef that they'd had in the past. And I had never partaken in any of that and wasn't even there when it happened. Since we'd both shared the same gaslighting harassment from the same person in the community, it kind of brought us together. And we were friends. We used to get together occasionally, stream, and talk on the side. So at this point, he was actively aware that I was not biologically a woman, and had said that he never cared about any of that. So I thought, cool, two adults doing their own thing on YouTube that get along. At one point, I even designed and sent him some custom graphics for his arcade game room. But eventually, him and my other friend, Mr. Mensa, had their differences and couldn't reconcile those differences. I tried to help without getting too involved, but Twisted decided that he didn't want to talk to me anymore, so I respected that and left him alone. Up to this point, I've never made any videos about him or said anything bad about him. But I guess because I'm friends with Mensa, he has it out for me. So when I went to watch his latest live stream and do a live commentary on it because it was supposed to be a roast about Mensa, I was kind of surprised what he had to say about me and to me.
You hide behind your fancy channel and you got all these other alt channels where you put up all the BS. I told you a year ago when you called me, when I told Messiah off, you called me and he wanted an apology, and I told you I wouldn't freaking apologize to that gutter rat because he's a turd. If you got 10 connections, I have 500. I mean, it goes that deep. I know a lot of people affiliated with a lot of stuff, dudes. I mean, I mean, we're not, I'm serious. So be careful. Be careful. An unlicensed woman. A chick with a joystick. That's unlicensed. When we die, let's ask God, okay? God Almighty, right? Let's ask him, is that an unlicensed woman? When you were a man and you turn yourself into a woman because you thought you were ugly. Because that's what happens, right? The men that turn themselves into women, they were ugly men. So they wanted to be a woman trying to be prettier, you know?
But we used to be good enough friends, and him fully aware of who I was, that he used to send me messages like this, and I wouldn't take it any other way as like a friend just saying, good job, he liked it. I've always tried to argue on his side, even when we weren't talking, but then I go back to that original stream and look at comments like this and see what's happening now, and I actually feel kind of worried. Which is the whole reason why I'm making this video, to document this. Here's a little excerpt from my live stream with my reaction to what he's saying.
Openly okay with a unlicensed.
Unlicensed. Now we're talking about the person in the past. Everybody knows who we're talking about, an unlicensed doctor at one time or whatever, right?
Not at one time, because the real console fanboy, he doesn't have a license to practice therapy. Yet on his job description, that's what it says. Of course, the major issue is that he has weaponized his job against people, like just regular people. In my opinion, he has partnered with people to harass people online and continues to circumvent bullshit behind closed doors.
Yet, on your panel...
In fact, this same person did an entire roast video on him, 1 or 2, I don't know, but at least 1, and I think he ended up deleting it later on.
That you have live, you have a unlicensed woman on there. Oh yeah, I'm talking about you, Jade. I know who you are now, bud. I know who you are. You're trash too, girl. You hide behind your fancy channel, and you got all these other alt channels where you put up all the BS. I told you a year ago when you called me. When I told.
He's referring to when I called him to try and like get him and Messiah to talk so that they could like work things out, because I thought it was like a little bit ridiculous.
Told Messiah off. You called me and he wanted an apology, and I told you I wouldn't freaking.
That's actually not what happened.
Apologize to that gutter rat because he's a turd.
And that's actually not what he said. He actually wouldn't finish the conversation with me. I was in the middle of doing something, and then I had to go, and I said, I'll call you right back. And when I called him back, he wouldn't talk to me anymore. So.
Right? And I gave you a warning a year ago. If something in the future happens, y'all are, I mean, this is dangerous.
He actually never said anything. Nope, never said anything. But
dangerous water y'all are crawling in. Okay? And don't think I have all your info either. I have everything, bud. Y'all have connections and shit. Good luck.
Here we go. See, that to me sounds like a threat. And as usual in the comments, it's all the same suspects that you would expect to see, raising the pitchforks and talking smack. All the same people in the chat allowing the defamation and doxing to go on are the same ones who cry and claim to be a victim every time that they get exposed for lying. What's even more concerning is that Chris's friend went over to Mr. Mensa and actually publicly doxed his private address and threatened to deliver a, quote, pizza, while also talking about his wife and his children. And here's more public doxing in the chat, which I've obviously edited out. And to top this off, he's not the first person that's done this to me either. His other friends have done the same exact thing to me. Threatened to dox me, said that they have all of my information, etc., etc. Even gone as far as to talk about my children and my family. All of those people were in his chat while he was saying that he doesn't tolerate people talking about family on YouTube. Even this guy, who's had multiple YouTube channels terminated for harassment and talking about people's underage kids, was allowed to be in his chat talking about people's families and publicly doxing private addresses. So in short, this is an abbreviated documentation of the online harassment I've been receiving from people in that community for years now, which is threatening to me and my family.
Thanks for serving our country, but after that, who gives a damn? I don't give a shit if you were in the military or not. Happy Veterans Day to the people that served, but not all veterans are good ones. I promise you that. And this is one of them. This is a turd box.